Hey, welcome everyone to another episode of Amputate to Elevate Success podcast, part of my Elevate Life Executive Series on Beehive. I'm your host, John Register, Hall of Fame speaker, Paralympic silver medalist, and resilience architect. I created this podcast because I know you are leaders who are facing high stakes transitions, moments where the old way won't carry you forward any longer. And my mission is to give you the communication tools and the mindset strategies to amputate what no longer serves so that you can elevate to the success you were destined to achieve. I know you want to be there. So if this is your first time listening, welcome to Elevate Life Community. And if you've been with us for a long time or before, go back and catch up on previous episodes and then invite the other ones to come in and show them the ropes. There are so many transformational insights waiting for you on the inside. Before we jump in, though, make sure that you're liking, subscribing, and sharing this podcast with your friends, family, neighbors, and coworkers. And don't forget to join me at johnregister.beehive.com. That's Beehive with 2 eyes, where you'll get even more leadership levers delivered straight to your inbox. So now today's guest is an absolute powerhouse of purpose and courage. Jill Schulman is a leadership development expert, former U.S. Marine, she's an officer, and author of the brand new book, The Bravery Effect. Had a chance to read it. Her work blends positive psychology, corporate leadership, and military grit into a science-backed framework for building brave mindsets, taking bold action, and curating courageous connections. In The Bravery Effect, Jill delivers a parable that proves bravery isn't a rare heroic moment. It's a daily practice. With her background as a Marine, a corporate leader, and now a founder of Breakthrough Leadership Group, Jill has created a roadmap for moving beyond fear and into the fullness of your life. So get ready, because we're about to talk bravery, boldness, and breaking free from the comfort trap. We'll meet Jill Schulman right after this quick show intro. What is going on, Jill? How are you? Good morning to you.
So great to see you, my friend. And I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited for today. So thank you for having me. And what a fabulous intro.
Wow. Oh yeah. I love doing those. I had a communications background, so I just try to put that in and run a show. Everybody wants to be like a Netflix these days. So that's me too. So let's just jump right in. I know we got about half an hour. So at the top of the show, I'm always asking the guest, what is it you've had to amputate in order to elevate to get to your success? So I know you have the Bravery Effect that's going on, the new book that's launched. So whatever's coming to your mind right now, I'm asking you that question. What did you have to amputate?
What comes to mind? Yeah, I'm so glad you asked that, because I had this aha moment yesterday. Yeah. I was actually in a little mastermind with a friend and mentor of mine, John Gordon. And as we were all talking, like, he said something and it just hit me like a bomb. And he was saying, sometimes you have to let go of good to become great. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what I've had to amputate to elevate. Is I had a really good, career. Everything was going well. I was earning good income. I had great clients. So I was doing really good work. But if you want to hit the next level and if you want to become great, and I had this desire that I wanted to do research, I wanted to write a book, I wanted to be speaking on the big stage like John Register. If I wanted to get there, I had to let go of some of the things I was doing in the past. So I think it's such a great, what John said, like, stuck with me, is don't let good, get in the way of great. And that is really what I've had to do over the last, couple of years here is to let go of a lot of the very good, very fulfilling, good work that I was doing. But I had to let that go in order to do the work that I'm doing now on Bravery.
When you said that, what came up for me resonated, because I'm reading another book right now. So thank you for letting me read yours. We're going to jump into yours in a second here. Is 10x is easier than 2x. So another fantastic book. I'm not going to jump into that one. If you all want to check it out, go see it. Go see the author. But that is just the letting go. And a lot of folks get stuck, and there's nothing wrong with the 2X, right? Because you can still do very well at that. It's just that it's kind of comfortable and you've already done it. So what's the shift? Even before the podcast today, I was in the other room. I was going over my notes for the next presentation I have. And I was hitting it hard, and I'm sweating under my arms right now because I was really diving into and putting myself in that element. And so is that the way that we push ourselves to our 2X kind of, I don't know if it's greatness or I'm always thinking about the greater than anything else. So, go ahead.
No, I completely agree, because I think that is one of the things over the last couple of years, like I've just kind of let go. I'm going for it. Like, I feel like I'm going down, like skiing down a mountain. And instead of, just being really cautious and just making sure everything's safe, like I'm just leaning forward and letting the momentum take me. And there's a couple bumps along the way and not everything's perfect, but just like letting go of any of that fear and just going all in. And it's exhilarating and scary at the same time, but it's been awesome.
Well, that really leads into the book, because the book is all about that, letting go of the fear and not being able to push into the next realm. And you wrote Bravery Effect as a parable. I'm interested. Why did you choose to write this as a parable? And then back us into, what's the book about?
Yeah, sure. Well, I decided to write the book as a parable because stories stick. And when I look at all the different business books that I've read, or the business books I've recommended that my clients read, some of my favorites are the very simple parables that teach lessons that stick. Like, I think of my friend and mentor, Ken Blanchard, who wrote the foreword to my book. I mean, the 1 Minute Manager, like we've all read it. I have so many of my clients read it. It's short, it's easy, but it sticks at last. Or Len Sione's 5 Dysfunctions of a Team. So I just love the idea of a parable. And especially because I'm kind of a scientific geek. I shouldn't say kind of, I'm a geek. I love the science. And I would love to have nothing but just all the science based on psychology and cognitive psychology, behavioral psychology, social psychology, and why, you should be brave and how to be brave. But just because that's my preference doesn't mean it's going to land with everyone. So stories are universal. So I decided to write a parable just in a wish to I want this message to spread. I want to create a bravery movement, and a story is the best vehicle in the book to be able to do that.
What is the comfort trap? I think I was reading the through line of some of the characters in there, and multiple characters they get stuck in comfort. But what's the comfort trap to you, and why was it so important to put this in the book?
The comfort trap is when we choose to do the thing that's easy or comfortable instead of doing the thing that is right and hard. So throughout every day, we have little choices. Do we take the easy route, or do we take the harder route?
Right.
And each time we take the easy route and we avoid any discomfort or challenge, in the moment, it feels good because it's comfortable and all my stress is going away. But when you do that again and again, it makes you weaker. It makes you less resilient. So the more you choose comfort, the tighter the trap becomes, and the weaker you become, and the less able you are to deal with stress and challenges. So that's why we call it a comfort trap. And the reason why this is such an important message that I'm trying to bring to my audiences in the world is I feel like now in our society, there is a lot of messaging out in media and social media everywhere that just be easy on yourself and just do what's comfortable. And if there's anything that's stressful, eliminate stress. And if there's anything that causes anxiety, remove it. And that is just not the truth on how to live the happiest life. And I'm saying that with my master's in psychology from Penn, so it's a mistake for people to choose easy and comfortable to live their best life. Choosing the challenging, harder path will lead to a life of meaning and impact and higher life satisfaction.
I'd love to stay there just for a second, but John Wolfson jumped in and said, "This speaks to me. It's a scary step to go to the next level." I love it, John. Thank you so much. He's an amazing photographer out there in your neck of the woods in San Diego, shoots all the homes of the stars, and he's just an amazing individual. So what I'm thinking about is we've been through like a traumatic world pandemic. No one wants to say the P word any longer. And at the same time, I don't know if we've ever really dealt with the impacts that has had. I mean, I went to speak for the United States Air Force Academy, and in their group, these were the first students that never had a high school graduation. It was a drive-by graduation, you know, in the cars.
Yeah.
They never had a prom. They never had the turnabout dance. They never got a chance to kind of, you know, be the class president and all those things. So these are the first generations, and we have this radar of we don't even know what this is about. And at the same time, we're getting folks to say, get back in the office. Let's drive the work. Let's go hard. And we're freaking out because we lost 6 people in our family. Right. So how do you share that in the hard charge, the drive of, you know, let's not get caught in the comfortable trap, as well as in recovery of trying to go through, like when you recover as a Marine, as you go to the field, you come back, you recover your equipment. As an athlete, I come back, I recover to make sure that I'm prepared for the next day. Talk about that from that standpoint.
Yeah. So recovery is really important. So I always just use the analogy of like lifting weights or exercise, because most people have been into the gym and this analogy works really well. So if you always choose to keep your body comfortable and you are always recovering by never working out, your body becomes weaker. Right. So you're not really recovering. You're just being lazy and never challenging your body. So when it comes to bravery, it's the exact same way. So I do want people to recover, but I want you to choose what is that scary thing that you really want to go after, but you're holding back because of that fear. You know, so I want you to move toward those goals. So those are kind of like your workouts. I want you to do the hard work. I want you to be hard charging. I want you to go after those things. And then, yes, you need recovery. You need recovery each day. You need to be taking care of yourself, to have really great sleep every night so that you can show up to be your best self. And, you know, I also think, you know, once a week, you should just have a day of just pure relaxation. So that is once a week. But what drives me crazy is when I think I see articles on like, take more self-care days, which means you sleep in instead of getting up with the alarm to do the hard thing that's going to accomplish your goal. Right. Or, oh, I'm just going to like, oh, I'm not going to go to the gym and I'm just going to sleep in and take a bath and drink some champagne. That is not a self-care day. A self-care day is when you keep a promise to yourself. Keep a promise to yourself that I care about the goals that I set because they matter. They're meaningful. And instead of thinking about what's going to make me comfortable in this moment, what's going to make me happy in this moment, I want people to think about what is your 6:00 p.m. future self want you to do right now, and let that be a motivator. So I talk about self-care as keep the promise to yourself, do the hard thing, and then plan for your recovery. Plan to be able to do your wind down every night, spend time with your family, get a great night of sleep, spend time on weekends with, you know, social and with family. So you need the recovery, but you really only earn the recovery if you're putting in the work.
I love it. Love that. So I was laughing. I raised my hand because today I was like, man, do I want to go swim this morning? I got my rest, but I'm just going to hit the snooze button and roll over. Nope. I got up, I rolled out, I hopped out of bed, put my podcast on, what I listened to, and then I did my prayer call in the morning, and then 5:45, I was down there hitting it in the pool, right? And I feel a lot better right now because put in the work, and that starts my day. It kind of gets me in rhythm, and so recovery should be in the same rhythm, in the same cycle, as we do. It should be part of it. You reveal these 3 keys in developing bravery mindset. Taking bold action, curating courageous connections. Which one do you think leaders most undervalue?
Well, so there's 3. There's the warrior, I call it warrior mindset, or like the brave mindset. That's cognitive psychology, then brave action. And then from social psychology, like the brave connections or the brave tribe. So I would say leaders undervalue the cognitive side of performance. We don't do it in the workplace. We think of like mindset's a bunch of woo-woo. And I think that's why I'm trying to come in as the former Marine, and I call it a warrior mindset, because I used to be one of those people where I would hear some, you know, maybe some words were like mindset, and I would kind of roll my eyes like, oh boy, here's a bunch of soft stuff. But you know what? Mindset is
Yeah.
this is serious. This is what warriors do. This is the highest performing teams, the most successful people focus on mindset. But we're not doing it in the workplace, and leaders are certainly not doing it. So what I'm trying to do is bring into my clients, I work with Fortune 100, companies across the US and North America, but to add some of that, because your belief system on what you can do impacts your behavior. Because really what we're trying to do in the workplace is we're trying to help people behave and perform at their very highest level.
Yep.
So we usually focus on just the behavior, but the two things that can support that brave behavior are the cognitive side. So I get all in my book, I teach all these strategies in a story of how do you develop that warrior mindset? How do you start believing that you can do hard things? How do you start embracing challenges as this is an opportunity for me to step up? So we do a lot of work, or in the book, you can learn a lot about the cognitive side of being a high performance. So that supports actions. And then the other thing, and I think we do an okay job, it depends on the culture of the company, but on social psychology, like when I talk about bravery, when it comes to the social psychology, we talk about vulnerability. We talk about asking for support and help, admitting mistakes. I think a lot of leaders too think like, oh, I'm a leader. Like, I can't ask for help because that's going to make me look stupid, or like, I don't know. So I'm just going to figure it out on my own. That is stupid. If you have a question, or if you're struggling with something, and there's people in your organization or people that you know in your network that have been through the same struggles, that have accomplished what you're seeking to accomplish, it's really wise to leverage that network and say, hey, do you have a couple minutes? I'm struggling with this little piece and I wanted to run some ideas by you. When you do that, I've done that with writing the book because I had some struggles. Like when I would call Ken, we'd set up Ken Blanchard and we'd set up a meeting. I remember one time telling him like, Ken, I don't know if I'm cut out for this. Like I was really struggling. I'm like, I sit down in the mornings, I've dedicated the time and nothing comes out. Like I have writer's block. And, and he just said what Ken said. He goes, yeah, same thing happened to me. I'm like, what? You are Ken Blanchard, 48 best-selling, New York Times bestselling. How is that possible? He's like, no, I had the same struggles. And when they share that, it makes you realize that this is normal. This is part of the growth curve, right? And then he also gave me a really great hint for anyone who wants to write out there. This hint helped me. Ken said, Jill, when you talk about the science of bravery, it just flows out so effortlessly. You're so passionate, you know your stuff. He's like, why don't you just try dictating? That's what I did.
Yeah.
And that was a game changer for me. So, so I'd say those are the two things that we could emphasize more for leaders to be more effective, but also for leaders to bring to their teams if we want to accelerate our goal achievement and have a bigger impact at work.
I love it. So what I'm thinking, I'm looking at some things over here. Every time I'm looking off, I'm reading somebody's comment, so I can bring them into the conversation. You did I loved how you bring your family into this, and you said it a little bit earlier in recovery, and wind down and take the time to rejuvenate with your family. You've done the hard work during the day. You have your beautiful daughter Sydney and Brooke, and you just dropped off. Was it Brooke to college?
Well, they're both in college now.
Both in college now.
But my baby girl,
Brooke just went.
Brooke's
so that's
freshman. Yeah,
freshman.
her first day of school yesterday.
Brand new school. And you dedicate your book to them, and I want to know, because that's a big thing when you're doing the book and you're doing the dedication. And I want to hear from you on your process by going to these two incredible young women in your life. So before you answer that question, we're going to pay some bills. We'll be right back with Jill Schulman's answer on that. Before Jill answers these questions, let me invite you to a question that many people have been asking me, and that is, What do I actually do as a professional keynote speaker? Well, my work is all about equipping audiences to overcome fear and elevate to their potential. I've been honored to be inducted into the Speaker Hall of Fame, named as one of the top 50 global leadership speakers in the world, and to receive over 11,000 audience reviews, with 99% satisfaction rate and 97% say they want to hear the message again. But what matters most to me is that creating an experience that truly shifts the room. If you're planning on an event and want to explore how we can do that together, well, schedule a pre-event call with me at johnregister.com. Now, let's get back to Jill Schulman and the next answer that she's about to provide to us.
All right.
So we're talking about your girl.
My girls. Well, John's just trying to get me to cry on a live program here. This is what he's trying to do. The reason I dedicated this book to my girls, and I think a big motivation for me even writing it, is what I see. I mean, I see this with all people, but I see it with the younger generation, and I see it with my girls. And you were talking about the pandemic earlier too. I think my girls and the younger generation in general, they allow fear to control their actions. And when they do, they become more anxious, less happy, more isolated. I mean, especially the younger generation, the social fear is the greatest fear that they have. I mean, I remember when my girls were like younger, asking them to make a phone call. They were petrified to pick up the phone and make a phone call because they just never done it before, right?
Mm-hmm.
So social fear is the number one fear that our young generation has. And both of my girls have experienced a little bit of that as well. And it really takes away from their happiness and well-being. So I wrote this book because I want my girls someday to read the book. I'm not going to tell them they have to read the book, but it's dedicated to them. But when they actually read the story, there are little secret messages in there, little inside jokes that only they will get. And I've got this little thing going inside. I'm like, when am I going to hear? Now, Sydney, my older one, she'll probably read it in the next 6 months to a year. Brooke, my young one, it'll probably be 10 or 15, maybe 20 years. But when she finally does, she'll get it. So I wrote it to them because I know, based on my research, that I want my daughters to live their greatest life. And the only way they can live their greatest life is to live without regret. And there's things that they want, but they don't move toward it because fear is holding them back. So I want them to learn the skill of overcoming fear. And when they feel that fear, and this is the good fear, like when you're scared, but in that good way, because you really want it, but you feel like you're not ready, that good fear, when they feel that fear, I want them to run toward it, not run away from it. And if I can do that, then my work is done in this world.
Did y'all hear her voice? How it just came softer. She leans in. That is the gold right there, the gold. Because fear is just a story we're telling ourselves that hasn't happened yet. But so is faith. And in Champions Mindset, we were talking about mindset just even earlier. I frame, a lot of folks will say Champions Mindset, but where I come from in that area is from a place. When you heard in the commercial break there, I was saying, I was just listening for the first time again, Hall of Fame speaker. Okay. So that's like my 5th Hall of Fame.
Wow.
So we're talking about champions, right? This is the Arkansas Track and Field Hall of Fame, the Chicagoland Sports Hall of Fame, the multi, there's another one, I can't remember the name, but all those Hall of Fames were past things that were accomplishments, right? But this speaker one is about the work that's going on right now and the work that continues to go on. So it's a living monument. So when I'm talking about Champions Mindset, I'm saying, what's the thing that you do that no one else can do that puts you in Hall of Fame? The one thing. And that's where I believe with inside of Bravery Effect, if you can get to that place, well, to all the other noise and just focus on the one thing that you do exceptionally well, better than the 1% of anybody else in the world, you're getting to the DNA fingerprint of who you are.
Yeah.
All of us are unique. All of us are special
Mm,
because we all won we all won a race. What's the race we
yeah.
won? We were the first to the egg.
Yeah. And as you say that, you're right, John, this is what life's all about. What is your passion? What is your gift?
Yeah.
And how can you maximize it? And when you overcome the fear to be able to really step into that and start living that and striving to achieve that. This is the reason I named the book The Bravery Effect is it's not really, John, you know this, but to your audience, it's not about accomplishing the goal. It's not. There's something so much more beautiful about learning to build bravery, which is like a muscle. You can build it. When you learn how to be brave and to overcome your fears, you will accomplish more. You will have a bigger impact. And those are all wonderful and great, and will experience great positive emotions. But the best part of bravery is what it does to you. It is, you will look in the mirror with so much pride. You will increase your self-efficacy. You will look back on your life without regret. That is the promise to bravery. And that's what I want for everyone. I want it for my girls. I want it to every audience that I speak to. I just don't want them to have a life. And like, my life is fine, but there's all these things I wanted, but I never went for it. So I just encourage people, like, I know it's scary, but whatever you want, whatever you desire, the impact that you want to have, I want you to start moving toward it or running toward it. And it will be scary, but that's the definition of bravery. It is voluntary action in the presence of fear toward that meaningful or noble goal. Keep moving forward toward it, do it scared, and you will be happier and more successful. So don't run away from fear, run toward it.
I love that. The promise of the book. That was going to be my next question. So you just took care of that.
Sorry.
I know it's all good.
I'm just
It's
flowing.
right, it's right there. What's the impact you hope the Bravery Effect will
Mhm.
have? Boom. That's just not with the mic drop.
Mhm.
That is so good. And then when you think about Jill, 10 years down the road, the book is out there. It's #1 New York Times bestseller. It's all this other great stuff that's happened. And you're thinking about what your life is like in that moment right there. What is it right now that either you have to be brave on or that you need to amputate right now in order to make that happen?
Yeah. Well, really what I'm trying to do, John, is I'm trying to create a movement. So it's much greater than me. This is not about Jill. This is about the message, the science of bravery, and how anyone can build it. So I hope in 10 years, this becomes so much bigger that I have to let go of some things. So some fears. So one thing that I hope happens is that it's not always going to be Jill delivering the message, that I will empower other people to deliver the message. Kind of like I learned from Ken Blanchard or John Gordon, a couple of my mentors, because I have become certified and I have delivered their message over the past 20 years because it was such a powerful message. They couldn't deliver it anymore. So I need to let go. Like, this is not about me. This is not a Jill show. This is about what is the promise of learning the skill of bravery. So I'm going to let go from me doing it. I love doing it. I want to be the one doing that, but I'm going to have to let that go. And just like a technical thing, and John, I think you helped me in this area and kind of push me, is I've just kind of had this fear of trying to spread my message outside of corporate and LinkedIn. That's where I'm very comfortable. And I talk about getting out of the comfort zone, but this whole world of like Instagram and TikTok, and there's these mechanisms, technology to get my message out there. And I've just been too scared to kind of go there. And I need to let go of that and go all in. If I really care about the message and I want to serve as many people as possible, especially the young generation, I got to amputate that so that I can spread this word, the science of bravery, so more people can benefit.
So good. We're talking with Jill Schulman. She is the author of The Bravery Effect. It's out. It's almost out now, right? We're just about to launch. It's launched today. It's launched today. So
this is my launch day. Yes.
So why don't we do this? Where can we go find it and go get it? I'm going to put that on the banner. right
Uh-huh.
in here. It's the ticker. We'll put it on a ticker, create a banner for it. And so where can go find it? Tell me where it is, and I want to put on a banner for
Okay.
us.
Amazon is probably the easiest way for people to buy books, but you can buy it anywhere books are sold, Barnes and Noble, Target, Amazon. So yeah, I'd say Amazon's probably the easiest way to purchase it. Most people, so go to Amazon, purchase the book. And of course, my the best gift I get is when people read the book and they tell me the impact it had to them. So I'd also love if people just follow me on social media so you can send me a message, because I want to know, what did you learn and what impact did it have? Because the promise of this book is this book can change you.
Yeah.
And I want to hear from people. So please, follow me on LinkedIn or Instagram. I promise I'll be getting better when I put out on Instagram, but I want to hear from people. And then after you read the book, please, 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 if it made an impact on you, take your book and hand it to someone else and say, please read this. So I want you to pass this message along because of the power of the message and the power of learning the skill of becoming brave.
Jill, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence today, the insight that you have on the Bravery Effect, and congratulations on the book being out. Stick around. We'll be right back after this, after we close the show out. Hey, Jill, thank you so much for joining us today and for sharing the wisdom behind the Bravery Effect. I loved reading the book. What a gift you've given leaders who are ready to move beyond their fear and into braver, more bolder lives. To our listeners, thank you for tuning in. And if you've enjoyed today's conversation with Jill, please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast and follow all the other ones that we have done. And don't forget to join the Elevate Life Executive Strategy Sessions at johnregister.beehive.com. Now remember, that's Beehive with 2 I's. I'm John Register, reminding you to amputate what no longer serves you and elevate your highest potential. So until next time, go forth, inspire your world. Bye for now.